All right, so here we go with an example of max min. So we're going to do number 3 with the monster here, and we're just going to start off by reading it. It says that we found an alien planet. His body temperature varies sinusoidally with time. It says 35 minutes after they start recording time, it reaches a high of 120. So I already know now that I have a max of 35 minutes, comma, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Then it says 20 minutes after that. So after that would be plus 20. So that would be 55 minutes. It reaches a next low. So now I know I have a min of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I have one max and one min. So I just kind of want to just go through now and calculate all the stuff I need to be able to make a sketch and do everything else. So I'll start with my K. So K is ceiling 55 plus the floor. I'm sorry, let me erase that. That is not the ceiling or the floor. That is a time. So the ceiling is 120 plus 104 divided by 2. So that would be 224 divided by 2. So that's 112. And then my amplitude would be 120 minus 104 divided by 2. And that would be 16 divided by 2. And that will be 8. So I know that 1/2 of my period would be 55 minus 35. So 1/2 of the period is 20. So that means that the period is 40. So I'll just times by 2 on both sides and get the period. So if the period is 40, I know B would be 2 pi over 40. Again, I don't care about reducing that. And I know that my tick mark spacing, how far apart they should be, would be 40 divided by 4. So every 10 seconds, I plot points. Okay. Now, I am going to go to my calculator, but before I go to my calc, I want to know exactly what this looks like. So just like I did on the Ferris wheel, I'll put my middle. And so that's going to be at 112. I'll put my ceiling. That's going to be at 120. And I'll put my floor. And that's going to be at 104. I'll draw my x-axis in down here. And so remember that that is my time axis. And I'll start with the first point which they gave me, which was at 35 minutes, we were on the maximum. Okay, and then my spacing we said was every 10 seconds. So I'll do 45 and I'll do 55. And then I'll go backwards. We'll do 25, we'll do 15, we'll do 5, and I'm actually going to do -5. So just like on that last problem, I'm always searching for where the y-axis should be located. So I know the y-axis is right here between 5 and -5. So I'll put my little jaggle mark there. That's my little jagged thing. So we didn't really start counting till we get to 102. And now I'm going to come over here and plot points. So if I'm at the ceiling, I go over a tick mark, the middle, over a tick mark, floor, backwards, over a tick mark, middle, over tick mark, floor, over tick mark, middle, over tick mark, ceiling. And so here I am connecting my graph. So for me to write my equation, I like to find the closest value to the y-axis, but as I look, I'm going to shift to this right 5. I notice that the graph goes down. And so I know if it goes down, we need a reflection. So I'm going to write the equation f of t equals. Amplitude we said was 8, but I need it to reflect, so -8 sine. B we found to be 2 pi over 40. X, and I want to shift to the right, so -5, close, close, and then we said our K was 112. So now that I have an equation, and I guess I did the same thing, we're going to call this T. Now that I have an equation, I am going to go to my calculator, put this equation in, and finish solving. So I've done part A, that's all I've done. I've sketched and I've written the equation. So we'll use our calculator to do B and C. Temperature when they started, that's when time equals 0. So I want to find f of 0. And then this is my 114. That's where y1 will be my equation and y2 will be my 114. And we're going to go to the calculator. So in my last video, you'll see me do the calculator to finish solving that. So stay tuned for the rest.